What is up, guys? It's your boy Falcon back again, and today we're working on a 2012 Jeep Wrangler with a 3.6 liter engine. Now this procedure is going to be the same thing basically for the Chargers and Challengers with the same 3.6 liter engine. We're going to be replacing the thermostat, and the reason why we're replacing the thermostat on this vehicle is because we have a check engine light code P0128 which says thermostat underperforming. Sometimes it's P0128. That is usually the thermostat on these ones. It's either stuck, failed, or it doesn't have any coolant. But on this particular vehicle, we do have a bad thermostat. It's just not opening up all the way anymore. So P0128, we're gonna replace that thermostat on this Jeep. Should be relatively simple. So if you need to do this on your vehicle, stay tuned. Okay guys, so here we go. We're under the hood. First off, we need to take off this cover. This one, you basically just pop it up and pull it out. It has it goes right here in this little clips here, so all you do is pop it out and move it out of the way. Now our thermostat is going to be connected to these hose right here. This hose runs down here, so it's going to be right under the throttle body. So we need to take out this air hose right here. So to take it off, I'm going to do these two 10mm bolts, I believe they are. Take it out from here and take it out from here, and just remove this piece right now. Okay, so first off, take off this bolt right here. Looks like somebody has been working on here already. I can tell because of the way the bolts look, like somebody has removed them. Remove it from here, and then this one's right here on the side. Same thing, just the clamps. Then after this, we're just gonna pull this off from here, pull it out from here, and then that's it. It has this little sensor right here on the bottom. We just press the little lock mechanism and pull it out, and there it is. Thermostat housing, it's down there. I'll put the light right here so you guys can see it. The housing is this one right here. It only has, I believe it's 2 or 3 bolts. So here, let me show you the brand new. This is the new one right here. Doorman part number 902852. I'm gonna take it out of the box. Here you go. So it's only 2 bolts, one in the top, one in the bottom, and then the radiator hose that gets connected to the side. Of course, probably should have mentioned this at the beginning, but make sure that your engine is cold and that your coolant is cold. Whenever we remove those 2 bolts from there, we'll remove the hose from here. Coolant will leak out, and if it's hot, it's gonna burn. So you need to make sure that the vehicle is completely cold, so we can start draining some coolant from there, and we can get the thermostat housing replaced. Now the thermostat housing comes together with the thermostat, so it's just one piece. We're gonna bolt it off, bolt this one on, and that's it. It should be very simple. So let me get a drip pan down there, that way we don't make a mess. Alright, so now I'm just gonna break loose the 2 bolts that hold the thermostat. They should both be 10mm. So okay, top one is loose. Feel on the bottom one, and the bottom one is loose. They're both loose. So now I'm just gonna take off this hose from right here. I'm gonna use my pliers. We get this clamp out of the way. Just pull it back a little bit. It's gonna go right there. You can already see a little bit of coolant leaking right there. So once I take this off, I'm gonna grab this hose and kind of kink it towards the top. That way I don't lose too much coolant. There it goes. So now I grab it and I bring it up. We're still gonna lose coolant, but I just want to try to loosen too much coolant, so I think it'll stay right there. So now I'm gonna take off the thermostat. Of course, we're also gonna lose coolant once I take off this thermostat here. And as long as there is no plastic stuck on the housing of the side of the block of the engine, we can just take the old one off, put the new one back on, and just bolt it on right away. Same thing, so we don't lose a lot of coolant. Okay, both bolts are off. So now, just wiggle it. Here it comes. And you see the gasket stay there. But this is bad already. With the razor, I'm just gonna run it through the lip where it's gonna sit. So make sure there is nothing just stuck in there like plastic that is not gonna seal properly. With that out of the way, I'm just gonna put, this is the new one, I'm just gonna run a bolt through here just so I can put it into position and start tying it up. So this one goes here, put it right there, and just hand tying it for right now. It's not all the way in, but it's gonna hold it in place. So now I put the bolt on the socket, and I'm gonna feel it with my finger on the bottom, and same thing, just pull it in with my finger, with my hand, just hand tying it all the way in now. There it goes. Now the top one. Now that they're both hand tying all the way, now I'm gonna finish tying them up with the ratchet, with the wrench. Now, they just have to go snug. They don't have to go super tight. This is a aluminum cover that they go to. I think it's a timing chain cover, but that's it. Just remember the amount of pressure you use to take it off, and you're gonna use the same amount of pressure to put it back on. There it is. So now I'm just gonna grab the hose and put it back where it was, right here. Put it in, all the way in. Now I'm gonna use my pliers and move that clamp back to where it was. Let me move this cables out of the way. Whenever you remove hose clamps like this one, I always recommend that you put back the actual clamp back the way it was. Whenever you take it off, you'll see like an indentation on the actual hose. Put the clamp on the exact same indentation where it was. A lot of times it will leak if you leave it in any other position. If you want to make sure that it's not going to leak, you can always just switch it to a different better hose clamp, the ones with the screw, and he tightens it up. You can always reuse this one also. Just try to put it back to where it was. So now all we're gonna do is fill our coolant back up. Also, this thermostat housing has a little breather here, so you can always loosen this up so you can get coolant in here to make sure that you leave enough coolant in the system and that you don't have any air pockets. So now I'm gonna put this back in here. We're gonna put this connector back on the bottom. This is the air temperature sensor. It's usually right there on the hose between the throttle body and the mass airflow sensor. There it goes. Goes back in there. This hose goes right there. And now to tighten up those last two extra bolts. Same thing. Now this one's, the clamps on the bottom are plastic, so you don't have to tighten them too hard either. Now got to tighten up these clamps right here. Now this one. Now all I got left to do is top off the cooling system, and I am completely done. Okay guys, so that is it. Then you put everything back on, put your cover back on, and make sure you top off your coolant. Whenever you turn on your vehicle with this radiator cap off to let it burp the system, or you can also use the breather that it has over there. But I always, even with the breather, I always like to burp the system. You leave this radiator cap off, you let it run for a little bit, and then you'll see it start bubbling up. Once you see the actual coolant starts to go up, almost like if it wants to come out of the radiator from that cap itself, that means there's no more air in there, and basically water is going to start coming out very slowly, of course, but you'll see it coming out that's when you put your cap back on, and it should be done. All right, guys, so I really hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell for me, share the channel. I will catch you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. You guys have yourselves a great day.